My name is Mark from Panasonic. This is Marge. We're going to cover today at JNR's Lunch and Learn, talk about televisions today. How to determine what screen is best for your room size. One is determining where you're going to sit when you choose a new TV set. It might be the exact same seating position you are now. When you come into the store, what's a good rule of thumb? It's not perfect. It's a rule of thumb. Is take the screen height and triple it. It's going to give you an idea. Like on a 50-inch, it might be 8 feet.
Multi-HDMI inputs, Vieira link. You can hook up a multitude of devices. You can hook up a DVD recorder. You can hook up your home theater system. You can hook up your HD camcorder. You can hook up a Blu-ray disc player. As long as we've got an HDMI connection going, it's all one touch with one remote, making things a lot easier.
What's the HDMI is just a simple one-cable solution. So instead of, like we did a year ago, having how many cables do I need to plug in this item, 3 cables, 5 cables, what's the story? It's one cable. One cable carries all the information to each product. So if you're plugging in, like we have a Blu-ray player up front, it's just a Blu-ray player to the TV with one cable.
Also PC input, so that you could actually do what we're doing here right now, which is hooking up our computer right to the television, and we're doing a little slideshow for you right off of TV.
So if you have, if you have a laptop, you can actually do it right in your, wherever you watch your TV normally, you can do some work right on your TV, especially towards the end of the evening, if you wanted to. So instead of looking at a small screen, you can look at a 46, 50, or 58-inch screen. 100,000 hours to half-life on the display, which is longer than anybody in the industry. So if it's longer than anybody, I think you might want to say it could be the most durable display out there.
The plasma television will actually last you 100,000 viewing hours, and that's before it starts to dim.
Let's put it in real world that most of us would understand. The CRT picture tube that we've had in our house for the last 50 years, half-life on that's roughly 10 years. So this set's actually 3 times more durable than what you've currently had most of our life. Energy efficiency, that's brought up a lot, has been for many years. Talked about how much power the plasma or TV sets consume. It's actually an independent retailer called Crutchfield went out there, and they do all this stuff online a lot. And they did a great job measuring every brand of TV set that they carry and how much power it really uses. And based on power consumption under real world, not the TV set turned on in a complete white screen, watching movies. We're as energy efficient as any LCD TV set, and in some cases we're more energy efficient. Our entire line is Energy Star rated. It's a 52-inch Sharp. It's going to roughly run you about $5 a month to run. Our 1080p is $4.82, an 18-cent difference. Roughly 285 watts, we're 264 being used to watch a television show. A typical LCD panel, from regardless of the brand, your basic panels are going to have, when you sit in the center, about a 55-degree viewing angle, which means once you get outside that viewing angle, your brightness of the picture changes and your color changes. When you go to one of our panels, our LCD panel, you're going to get to 120 degrees, meaning that you can sit farther apart on the couch if you want to, sit in different parts of the room and still have the same picture quality. Now plasma is roughly 170 degrees, which means you basically can stand right along the side of the TV set and the picture does not change. Plasma does have the widest viewing angle, not only provides brightness, but it's also color. Because even on some of our LCD panels, as you get off to the side, extreme side, the color will change. It still looks bright, but the color changes. Plasma does not. Some of the video games that the kids play, or any of us play, I shouldn't say kids, I play video games too, there's some scenes, the person that might be after you could be in this dark, shadowy area, but because the picture won't resolve, you can't see that person, next thing you know, your game's over. When you put it in the game mode, it provides better detail, especially in the dark scenes. So not only does it engage the image retention in what's called a force mode, but it also adjusts the picture quality in such a way it maximizes your gaming performance.
What's better technology, plasma or LCD? The only time you're ever really seeing 1080p through 1080p is if it's a still image. As soon as that image starts moving, okay, you see a little bit of breakup in the image, a little bit of ghosting maybe, okay, and that's even if you're watching high definition programming. I've got a picture of the lion moving. It's a little bit blurry in his fur as he's jumping in his mane. However, this one over here, the other picture, shows a much more detail of his mane in going through motion. And that's illustrating to you the difference between LCD and plasma.
We have what's called a dynamic contrast ratio and a native contrast ratio. Our native contrast ratio, this year's model, at least the one you're looking at right now, is 30,000 to 1, which is very strong. And then we have what's called a dynamic contrast ratio of 1,000,000 to 1. Benefit for you is there's a lot of shades of gray in between, a lot of different color variations, so it's going to produce a much more true-to-life picture. And then we talked about, we have our new AR filter on our TV sets to help combat some of the light glare questions that or concerns that we've been hearing from the customers out in the field. They turn on their lights in the room, they get a lot of glare on the picture itself. So we've come out with a new coating to cut down tremendously on the glare, as you can see from right here in this bright room right now. In a very bright, direct sunlight, doesn't make a difference really what the TV display is, the picture's not going to look its best. We have our PX80 series, which is our entry-level 720p product. It's available in a 42 and a 50-inch, and a lot of the things that we've discussed already, it's covered in this TV set. Whether it's the AR filter, the X.V color, the 480 Hz subfield drive, it's a great television set. Now, when you go to the PZ80 series, it's our entry level or our first step in what's called 1080p. It's available in 42, 46, and 50, so we do have a different size this year. We came out with a 46-inch plasma this year. Then you have the PZ85 series, which is sitting right here. Becomes a better contrast ratio. It's 30,001 versus 20,001, and we add the PC inputs. Go to the next series, which has some picture performance enhancements, which is the PZ800 series. It's a THX certified display. And then we do have LCD panels too, which are exquisite. Both are great TV technologies. Again, the rule of thumb I would still keep in the back of my mind would be if you're going to go below 40-inch, you really don't have a choice. It's pretty much LCD right across the board. Once you get above 40-inch and you get into a bigger screen where you're looking to get a better picture, Plasma is definitely a better play. I think Panasonic's done a phenomenal job of addressing every concern that's been out there regarding televisions.